يا شهر الهدى يا شهر الندى.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معاصيك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا. اللهم متعنا بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقوتنا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا على من عادانا. اللهم لا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا، ولا مبلغ علمنا، ولا تسلط علينا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا. وصل اللهم وسلم على سيدنا محمد، والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تجعل نياتنا صافية لوجهك، وأن تيسر لنا الخير أينما كنا وحيثما توجهنا، إنك على كل شيء قدير. Lillahi ta'ala, may Allah give us the sincere intentions and the good ending. Insha'Allah ta'ala, we will continue from where we left off regarding the recommended matters of wudu. فقال القاضي أبو شجاع رحمه الله تعالى رحمة واسعة: ومسح الأذنين ظاهرهما وباطنهما بماء جديد. So Al-Qadi Abu Shuja, he says, among the recommendations when performing wudu is to wipe the two ears, the outside and behind the ears, with new water. وكيفية المسح, and the way of wiping, أن يدخل مسبحتيه, is to insert his two index fingers في صماخيه, in his ear canal. Of course, not all the way in. He doesn't have to stuff his fingers deep into his ear canal. No, at the orifice. وَيُدِيرَهُمَا فِي الْمَعَاطِفِ, then he would move his index finger around and through the curvatures of the outside of the ear. وَيَمُرَّ إِبْهَامَيْهِ عَلَى ظَاهِرِ أُذُنَيْهِ, then he would use his thumb to wipe, to pass over behind his ears, from the bottom, from the earlobes up to behind his ears. ثم يلصق كفيه وهما مبلولتان بالأذنين استظهارا. Then he would take his palms, which are wet, and he would place them over the outside of his ears to ensure that he covered everything. قال وتخليل اللحية الكثة. Then Al-Qadi Abu Shuja, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy upon him, he said to intertwine the fingers in the thick beard. بمثلثة من الرجل بإدخال أصابعه من أسفلها. This would be done by placing the fingers in between the hairs of the beard from underneath. وكذا لحية الخفيفة. And this also applies to the beard which is thin. إلا أن لا يصل الماء إلى باطنها بغير ذلك فيجب حينئذ. However, this recommendation for the one who has a thin beard to intertwine his fingers from underneath when washing the face. This is a recommendation for the one with the thin beard if the water can reach the skin underneath without having to do that. So when he washes his face, if the water can easily get under the hair and down to the skin, then it is recommended for him to use his fingers and intertwine them with the hair of his beard. However, if the water does not reach his skin, unless he does that, then he's obligated to do it. In that case, it's not a recommendation to do it, it's an obligation to do it. وذلك للحديث أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم كان إذا توضأ شبك لحيته الكريمة بأصابعه من تحتها. This is based on the hadith that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he used to make wudu, he would intertwine his honorable fingers in his beard from underneath. I mean, not like this, but from underneath. ورواه Ibn Majah rahimahullah ta'ala, and this hadith was narrated by Ibn Majah, may Allah have mercy upon him. ثم قال أبو شجاع رحمه الله, then Abu Shuja, he says, وتخليل أصابع اليدين والرجلين. He said, intertwining the digits of the hand and the feet. And the digits of the hand are the fingers, and the digits of the feet are the toes. إن وصل الماء إليها من غير تخليل. And this is recommended if water reaches in between the fingers and in between the toes without doing that. Without doing that. فإن لم يصل إلا به وجب تخليلها. For if water would not reach in between his fingers, maybe he has a condition in which he has two fingers stuck like this and he has to spread them apart in another way. He cannot move his fingers by themselves. He has to do that or something like this. Then, if that's the only way for the water to reach, he's obligated to do it because it is an obligation to wash the area between the fingers and between the toes. But if the water can flow in between the fingers and the toes without having to do that, then it is recommended to do it. The best way of doing it for the hands is to take the hand and place it on the top of the other and then run the fingers in between like this. One can do like this. One can do like this. If one does like that, then the recommendation would be fulfilled as well. As for the toes, it is recommended to use the pinky finger, the left hand, and starting with the right foot when one is washing the right foot, and they would start on the side of the pinky toe, the small toe, to the farthest point of the right side of the foot. And they would use their pinky to go from underneath the toes in between, like this, then like this, and like this. If they do it from the top, then the minimum recommendation would also be fulfilled. And all of that is based on the saying, يعني لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا توضأت فخلل بين أصابع يديك ورجليك. If you make wudu, then intertwine between the fingers of your hands and your feet. رواه الترمذي وابن ماجه. وقال أبو شجاع, then Abu Shuja, he says, وَتَقْدِيمُ الْيُمْنَى عَلَى الْيُسْرَى, giving precedence or priority to the right over the left. That is, one washes the right hand before the left hand. This is a recommendation. One washes the right foot before the left foot. بِقَوْلِهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم, and this is based on the saying of the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم, إِذَا تَوَضَّأْتُمْ فَابْدَأُوا بِمَيَامِنِكُمْ, which means if you made wudu, then start with the right side. Yani in whatever has a right side and a left side. As for the face and the head, washing the face, wiping over the head, one only has one face and only one head. So we are not ordered to start with the right side of the head or the right side of the face as opposed to another part like that. We're not ordered to wash the right side of the face before the left side of the face, or wipe over the right side of the head before the left side of the head. Yes, there is a recommendation as to where to start washing the face. Yes, there is a recommendation as to where to start wiping over the head. But it is not this issue of giving priority to the the right side over the left side. وهذا الحديث رواه أبو داود وابن ماجه. And this hadith we mentioned was narrated by Abu Dawood and Ibn Majah. ثم قال, then Abu Shuja, he says, وَالطَّهَارَةُ ثَلَاثًا ثَلَاثًا, to do the purification 3 by 3, yani 3 times. Each thing 3 times. That is washing the face 3 times, wiping over the head 3 times, washing the hands, forearms, and elbows 3 times, washing the feet 3 times, wiping over the ears 3 times. للحديث, and this is based on the hadith, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم توضأ ثلاثا ثلاثا. The Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم, he made wudu and he washed each organ 3 times. رواه مسلم. This hadith was narrated by Muslim. ثم قال, then Al-Qadi Abu Shuja, he says, وَالْمُوَالَاةِ, continuity. Among the recommended matters of wudu is continuity. خروجا من خلاف من أوجبها, and this is a recommendation in order to avoid the disagreement among the mujtahid scholars. For some of them have said that this continuity, which we will define, is an obligation. Among such scholars is Imam Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu wa ardah. وهي, this muwalah, أن لا يحصل بين العضوين تفريق كثير. It is not to have a long separation between the washing of 2 organs. So, for example, a person is making wudu in the bathroom at work. Then the fire alarm goes off. So he stops making wudu. He has not washed his feet yet. He stops making wudu. He grabs his shoes and he goes outside of the building. Now he is wandering around, complaining about this and that, what people normally do when there's a fire drill. And then he goes back into the building 30 minutes later, for example, when his organs have dried. So this is a long separation between the washing of 2 organs. If he then goes back and washes his feet, then this is valid according to Ash-Shafi'i. He does not have to start wudu all over again from the beginning. بل يطهر العضو بعد العضو. What is recommended is to purify one organ after another, بحيث لا يجف المغسول قبله, to the point that the organ before it does not, the organ that was washed before does not dry. مع اعتدال الهواء والزمان ومزاج المتوضئ. And this is while taking into consideration a moderate weather, moderate temperature of the weather, a moderate time, and a moderate body temperature. One may have naturally a hot body temperature. Their body is hot naturally. And when they wash their organs would dry faster than if they had a moderate body temperature. If the wind is blowing, the body organs that were washed will dry faster than on a normal day. If it is cold, the moisture will remain longer on the organs. The drying will take longer. If it's hot, the drying will be faster. So what does the person consider? Moderation. Moderate temperature, moderate time, moderate body temperature. Now, how about the head? Because the head is not washed. Although it is valid to wash the head instead of wiping, that doesn't mean do it. But if one did it, then their wudu would be valid. So if one wipes as opposed to washing, in many cases there's less water. So how does one determine what is this time that they should not have such a separation between the wiping of their head and the washing of their feet? Their answer is one would approximate based upon the assumption that they wash their head. So if they wash their head under moderate circumstances, moderate temperature, and the like, how long would it take for their head to dry? So whatever that approximate time is, it is recommended to wash the next organ. In this example, it will be their feet before that time expires. Wallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam wa ahkam, and Allah knows best. There are many other recommendations of wudu, but as we said, we are only covering a very brief explanation. For the one who wants more details, then let him seek the medium-sized books in the school of Shafi'i, for there are many more details in that. And even in some of the summaries, like Al-Mukhtasar Al-Saghir, there are recommendations which are mentioned there that Al-Qadi Abu Shuja did not mention. اللهم سامحنا واعف عنا واجعل القرآن ربيع قلوبنا ونورا لأبصارنا وجوارحنا يا أرحم الراحمين واغفر لنا يا ربي فإننا مؤمنون لا إله إلا الله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم رب اغفر لي وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات وبارك الله بكم وأحسن الله إليكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
يا شهر الخيرات والإحسان والبركات يا رمضان